Holy sh**, that bitch has got a huge sword. Dude, you're Oh. Hey, buddy, looks like you caught a break. You're safe. Really? Perhaps I was wrong.
She's a killer queen, gunfight gelatine, dynamite with a laser beam, guaranteed to blow your mind.
Hey guys, now you can follow me on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/UltraMaximusReviews. Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another retro review, and today we're rewinding it back to 1996 with McFarlane Toys Spawn Ultra Action Figures. This is actually from series number 6. It's Tiffany, the Amazon. And I remember this character vividly from Image Comics and Spawn Comics. Very cool character. I remember this action figure out on the shelves at my local KB Toys. I remember at the comic book shop. It was always an interesting figure, and I was always on the verge of getting it and never did. I found it at my local flea market for $5, and I thought, you know what? I definitely got to pick this up for retro review. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. So here we have Tiffany in the packaging, and I love these old 90s style card backs. So super tall. I mean, it just doesn't even fit on the stage really in frame. But yeah, definitely very cool. It's got the Spawn Ultra Action Figures logo up there, the Spawn logo. McFarlane Toys. This is from series number 6, and it says, Spawn Comics, the best-selling comics in the history of ever. Well, maybe just in the U.S. Was America's best-selling comic, and it was at the time. If you weren't reading Spawn Comics, you weren't even in the comic book game, folks. And yeah, there she is. Looks very cool, very much like the character from the comic, which is kind of nice. And then she's got wings and sword turn into the shield. So that's kind of a fun little play gimmick. I remember her being very large, golden, a lot of gold armor, and kind of the Image answer to Wonder Woman is what I think she was supposed to have been. But yeah, where is she today? Where's Wonder Woman? But yeah, definitely very cool. Definitely digging it. So there's the artwork at the top, looking cool. It says Tiffany. There she is in package. Yeah, series number 6. So pretty cool stuff. Back of the packaging shows you all the other figures that you can get. All the figures in this wave here. Was it Sandskar? Looks pretty cool. I would love to get that Super Patriot. The Battleclad Spawn, I remember that. I remember the Freak. The Alien Spawn, that looks kind of cool. The Chameleon Spawn looks interesting. This little Thorax guy down in the Chaos line looks pretty neat. So we get figures in the Chaos line, the second Wetworks series figures, and then the 5th Spawn series there, which has Widowmaker in it, and let's see here. Then she's got a little card and write-up, and then her play gimmicks right there, how that all works. So just kind of a close-up. Yeah, all the other figures in this wave. Really dig that Super Patriot. I'd like to get a figure of him at some point. But yeah, so pretty neat. All the other figures that you can collect in all the other waves. Very fun, very cool. And then there's her little play gimmick explained right there. And then here's her little cutout card with her, and then her bio. If you want to pause and read that, you are more than welcome to. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get Tiffany out of box and see what we think. So here we have Tiffany out of the packaging, and unfortunately, a piece broke on me. Oh no! This goes to the wing set that is supposed to be a sled. I called it a shield in the opening, but it was supposed to be a sled gimmick, and her feet don't fit on it well at all, and when I tried to put it on there, a little bit broke. Fortunately, it doesn't really hamper the figure too much. This is a little loose in the back. I may try to glue it back on there, but I may just glue the wings onto her back and leave them sit there because, well, the little sled gimmick sucks. Now, the figure itself is actually pretty cool. She kind of looks like badass Barbie. And I will say I did not anticipate the actual hair on the figure. I thought that was really, really cool. She comes with a pretty decent amount of accessories. The problem is she stands kind of funky, and her hair is all over the place with that actual hair, which is really, really strange. I do like the fact she's got a holster for her gun. She's got this big-ass sword, which is cool. She's very asymmetrical in design. You know, meaning that, like, this boot is completely different from this boot, and just everything over here doesn't really match that over there, which is interesting, and I'm sure it's fun to draw, but it definitely looks different to put up on the shelf. Now, I'm going to take her weapon pieces and everything off, and here's what actually broke. If you look and see, you can see this piece snapped off of there when I was trying to get her to stand on the pegs, which she does not stand. So I'm going to put that there for a minute. Oh, her gun fell out. The holster is completely, and it helps if I put this in camera, huh? The holster is completely open, and you just stick the gun in there like thus. So I'm just going to take that out for a second. And then we're going to remove the little sword. So let's put her there. So the way this sled thing works, the sword, the handles on the sword pop up like that, and then you plug the sword in. You're supposed to plug the sword in like that, and now that is the sled. Let me get this on camera here. So there is the sled that she is supposed to ride on, and then you twist her arms, and she's supposed to hold it and stand on it, but she doesn't actually stand on it very well, and that's what broke the wings, unfortunately. But again, not too big of a deal, as this was a $5 figure. It just kind of stinks, and I think I can fix it, so I'm glad one of the handles up there didn't break on me. So I'm just going to throw that all off to the side there and take a look at the articulation on this figure. Her hair is a mess. Her head moves back and forth. Her arms move up and down. They do not move out at all. Her hands swivel at the forearms, which is kind of interesting. There is no swivel at the waist. The belt just kind of hangs there. Her legs do not move, which is unfortunate. They do twist at the upper calf, and then there is a single jointed knee, if I can keep this in focus there, and then nothing at the ankles. So she's little more than a statue, really, but she looks pretty good, and she pretty much stands on that left leg there. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, it is sculpted really well. I like the paint job on it. I mean, and like I said, it looks like badass Barbie, and it really, really does. Almost has a She-Ra kind of look with the hair, but I like all the armor, the gold necklace around her, the face paint looks nice. She's got very well sculpted armor bits, and just the silver paint apps look good. The wings look pretty good, but they are very fragile. Again, beware, this one broke. She's got the actual hair, which is very cool. We see that a lot with McFarlane figures from back in the day, which is really nice, but it's kind of a pain with all the little stray hairs. Yeah, I definitely dig the look of her. She's definitely cool. Just be careful of the wing set if you do pick her up. So taking a look at the midsection of the figure, again, very well sculpted. I love how she has painted on fingernails. I think that is very cool. I like the belt. I like the pose that she's in. She's just a little statue, basically. Yeah, all the paint apps, the detail of the sword looks very cool. Definitely dig that. She has a taut little booty that is partially hidden because of the wings. If you take the wing set off, you can see her butt much better, if that's what you're after. But yeah, I mean, it's done really, really well. Lots of good sculpt and detail and paint work. Very impressive for a mid-90s figure. And finally, taking a look at the legs of the figure, again, very asymmetrical, very two distinct boots, which is interesting. They both look really cool, well painted, well sculpted, and they do look like they did in the comics. I just don't like the fact that she's kind of on this weird tilt because she's angling on her left foot. And unfortunately, the peg holes that are at the bottom of the feet don't really do much with her wing shield. Plus, she's supposed to be wearing that anyway. But yeah, I mean, it looks cool. You just have to find the right balance for her to stand. For comparison, here we have Tiffany next to Lady Deadpool and Wonder Woman. So Yeah, I mean, she's a pretty good height. She fits very well into the 6-inch scale action figures. She's very well detailed. She looks way better than this transgender-looking Wonder Woman from Batman vs. Superman, but the Lady Deadpool looks better. But yeah, I mean, she looks pretty decent and is going to look really nice up on the female comic book shelf. So is Tiffany something that you want in your comic book collection? Well, if you are a fan of Spawn comics, this is something you may want, especially if you like Spawn from the 90s. If you like collecting the old figures from the 90s, this is definitely something to pick up. As far as action figures go, compared to the toys in the 90s, this was miles ahead of everything else that was going on at the time. I mean, the sculpt work is awesome. And it's pretty well articulated for what it is. But it was basically a little plastic statue, which is what McFarlane toys are kind of today anyway. But the character is cool. We haven't seen her in a long, long time. She was very, very distinctive back in the 90s. I like it. It's going to look good up on my female comic book shelf for sure. You know, along with some of the Marvel Legends and DC characters, I like getting those female figures from comics that just you don't see very often, and this is definitely one of them. To be honest, between her and Widowmaker, I thought I was going to like the Widowmaker figure a lot more than her, but I pretty much lean towards her as the better of the two. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. So there she is, Tiffany from McFarlane Toys and Spawn Comics.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.